Can you guess which species these animal babies belong to? They are so small that it's hard to tell without knowing for sure. In this video, I'll tell you all about animals before and after they grow up. And at the end of the video, you'll find out why spiders use frogs as nannies to their babies. Enjoy watching. The life of this baby starts with a fall from quite a height. Have you figured out who we're talking about? Of course, the giraffe. Giraffe is the tallest animal currently living on our planet. Its height can reach over 20 feet. And it's not just because of its neck. The length of a giraffe's legs can be up to 6 feet. And the female always gives birth standing up. So the poor baby has to fall quite a distance before it hits the ground. And the trials don't end there. The baby's mother immediately starts nudging it, forcing it to stand up. And when the baby finally manages to do so, she immediately knocks it over, so it can get up again and again. This is how she teaches her offspring to survive from the very beginning. After all, adult giraffes are threatened by lions, hyenas, and leopards. By the way, I'll also tell you about the babies of some of these predators today. And then what? First, the giraffe calf feeds on its mother's milk, and then, as it grows, it transitions to food it gathers on its own. But for that, it has to grow. Its neck has to reach the right length, so it can finally reach the juicy leaves. The giraffe's childhood isn't very interesting in my opinion, and it's also short, only about 1.5 years out of a total lifespan of up to 30 years. Then, the baby becomes part of a herd, where it shoulders all the responsibilities of being a giraffe. Well, just look at this baby. It's like a toy. And now, take a look at this formidable predator. An adult hippo, or hippopotamus, is truly dangerous to everyone around. It can dispatch a crocodile or a human in a fraction of a second. Hippos kill more people annually than all other mammals in Africa combined. The hippo is very protective of its personal space. In general, it's best not to get too close to it. This predator spends most of its day in the water and only comes onto land at night. Actually, a baby hippo is born underwater, where it can't breathe at all. Its mother has to dive and push the baby up by its nose so it can finally take its first breath of air. Then it's all not so rosy. The baby needs to learn how to swim almost immediately, and to eat, it has to learn to dive. Because that's the only way to reach its mother's milk. Tough conditions. And predators all around. It's not an easy life for these sweet little babies. Just look at them. So cute and so vulnerable. Here's another African resident. The elephant. In circuses, cartoons, and movies, elephants are always portrayed as gentle and very wise. But that's not entirely true. Elephants are immensely heavy and have explosive temperaments. They are truly unpredictable, and therefore, they are considered some of the most dangerous animals on Earth. Okay, let's talk about the babies. They start their development in the womb of the mother, as the pregnancy of a female elephant lasts about 20 months. And all this time, the baby grows and develops, both physically and mentally. By the time of birth, the elephant calf weighs almost 200 pounds and is practically able to walk right away, which is quite justified by such huge pregnancy durations. Basically, elephant calves have a decent childhood. Their mother protects them from all dangers. The way she does it is interesting. She wraps the baby with her trunk, lifts it off the ground, and carries it away if she senses a threat. She really has a powerful trunk if she can easily lift hundreds of pounds. Elephants live in groups, which form based on a very interesting principle. Females gather in a herd to raise the calves. Usually, the herd is led by the oldest and most experienced female elephant. Male elephants, on the other hand, live in separate herds and don't participate in raising the calves. Overall, I think these animals are very cute. Both the babies and the adults. But they are really dangerous, so be careful. Usually, people imagine Australia when they hear about a place teeming with dangerous creatures. But for some reason, today Africa is in the lead in my video. And the next animal I'm going to talk about is also from there. And it even lives near hippos. Of course, I'm talking about crocodiles. Just look at how cute they are when they are just born, or rather hatched. After all, crocodiles hatch from eggs. And their lives don't seem as complicated as the lives of the mammals I've told you about earlier. The crocodile mother seems to be a good parent. She protects her babies from all dangers, feeds them, develops various survival skills, teaches them how to hunt. It's very much like carefree childhood. Then the babies grow up and become full-fledged members of the African Crocodile Society. I think if you've ever been to a zoo, you've definitely seen the king of beasts there, the lion. Maybe even a lion cub with it. But let's take it step by step. It's no secret that adult members of this cat family are very strong, fierce, and dangerous to humans. It's believed that lions don't attack people, yet dozens of humans' deaths are still attributed to them. And once, they even infiltrated a Kenyan village where they ate 135 people at once. Strange story, of course, but some sources claim it's true. And now, look at the lion cub. You'll hardly be able to hide a smile or affection when you see this kitten. It's so soft and fluffy. I know for sure, because I've petted one before, in the zoo. But don't even think about getting close to one in the wild. A lioness may perceive it as a threat to her cub and attack you. An interesting fact about lions' lives: roaring is an important part of their upbringing. They develop their voice at around 2 years old and then start actively imitating their parents. And then their roar becomes so powerful that its echoes can be heard from over thousands of yards away. And here are the tigers, another members of the cat family. Formidable predators with no competitors, except one, the most dangerous of all, humans. Tiger cubs are born completely helpless and defenseless. They don't see anything at all in the first weeks of life. Knowing this, tiger mothers go on long distances away from anyone who could harm their offspring and create a comfortable environment there for raising the cubs. Although, for some reason, they choose rocky areas with sharp protrusions and rocks for this purpose. Well, never mind. Tiger cubs start fighting for survival actively from their very childhood. A litter can have 4 or 5 cubs born at once. And they have to fight each other for their mother's milk. The winner gets more food and becomes stronger. When the cubs are 8 weeks old, they start leaving the den with their mother to hunt and feed on real food, not just milk. During this period, tiger cubs play actively with each other. Here, in play, they also need to show their dominant position over their siblings. Because when the mother returns from another hunt, she first feeds the strongest cub and then all the others. Tiger cubs only become fully independent at 18 months old, but they retain their attachment to their mother for a long time. They can stay with her until they are 5 years old. You might ask, where's the father? Well, for his offspring, the father is just a threat. Tiger cubs must fear the freely roaming adult tiger, as he can easily kill the entire litter of cubs so that their mother is ready to mate again. Alright, let's finally move to Australia. Do you think kangaroos are peaceful and not dangerous animals? What if they are? Mountain of muscles, huge weight, powerful legs. But don't be scared. Only adult individuals are so dangerous and aggressive. The babies just peek shyly out of their mother's pouch. They are simply adorable. And this is what kangaroo joeys look like at birth. Amazing. How can such a tiny baby appear from such a not-so-small mother? Literally the size of a pea, completely naked and blind. The female's pregnancy lasts only about a month. Before birth, the mother licks a path on her belly, along which the future baby will have to make its way to the pouch independently. And then, in the pouch, the embryo develops, organs and fur form. The baby just attaches there to milk teat and spends another 6 to 7 months there. Interesting fact, Kangaroos can produce 4 different types of milk right away, each tailored to the baby's age. By the way, have you heard anything about Australia's war on kangaroos? Well, there's a rumor that Australia declared war on this animal and lost it. But it's just a myth. Kangaroos are a symbol and part of Australian culture, and there are no historical documents or events confirming a declaration of war on them. Have you ever encountered snake babies? For example, royal cobra babies. In general, they're almost indistinguishable from their adult relatives. They look like exact replicas, but 10 or even 15 times smaller. Let me tell you about the royal cobra. It's the largest venomous snake in the world. If it bites a person, they'll start feeling the first signs of poisoning in just 15 minutes. And if they don't get medical help after that, they will likely die. The royal cobra never stops growing, so its size depends entirely on the age of a snakelet. The record holder reached a length of 20 feet. And this is a royal cobra baby. Look at how cute it is! It hatches from an egg and for the first few days always stays near the nest, eating the remaining yolk. Its eyes are so innocent that I'm not even afraid to touch it. Although, confidentially, I'm very afraid of snakes. But you shouldn't even touch a baby. It's already venomous and can cause irreparable harm to health. By the way, despite this, it's very vulnerable and often becomes the target of larger predators. According to statistics, only 1 out of 25 individuals survives to adulthood. Here's another creature with snake-like scales. It looks like a dragon or a big lizard, but it's actually a Komodo dragon. It inhabits Indonesia and is born in a place where practically everything surrounding it is predators. So, for the little dragon, the first few years of its life involve constantly hiding until it becomes stronger. At first, a tree serves as an excellent refuge for the baby. There, it feeds on insects and birds, hiding from large predators that fragile branches can't support. Then, the dragon has to come down to the ground and face new dangers. Learn new survival skills. One of these skills, rolling in the excrement and guts of dead animals, to make everyone around think you're sick and unappetizing. Clever, right? You might ask, where are the mothers of Komodo dragons? Well, they don't participate in any of this. They lay eggs and leave. After that, kids, you're on your own. Let's dive underwater. The underwater world is amazing and very diverse. Here, for example, is a pufferfish. Its spines contain a very toxic venom that's 1,000 times more dangerous than cyanide. One such fish can kill 30 adults at once. And this is its baby. Not as dangerous yet. Nevertheless, it's best not to touch it. To protect the offspring, the mother pufferfish secretes a certain amount of toxins onto the eggs. And after the eggs hatch, these toxins adhere to the bodies of the fry, so the babies are protected. And this is the embryo of the most dangerous jellyfish in the world. After a while, it becomes highly venomous. Box jellyfish have stinging cells, the burns from which can be deadly for humans. They cause severe intoxication, even leading to cardiac arrest. And here are shark pups. They're just adorable. It's hard to believe they're some of the most dangerous predators in the ocean. And for dessert, seahorses. Look at the babies, and most of them will die soon. Only 5 out of every 1,000 survive. And it's not surprising. Seahorses don't have a stomach, so they have to constantly eat. And they have to find food themselves, because the mother can't provide each baby with food. Another danger for the babies is storms and strong currents. The little ones have to struggle so hard to swim against the strong water currents that they die from exhaustion. In general, their lives are not easy. It's almost pitiful to think about them. At the beginning of the video, I promised to tell you why a spider uses a frog as a nanny for its offspring. And now you'll finally find out. In this video, I mentioned several times animals that abandon their newborns to fend for themselves, to fight all the difficulties and survive in this tough world. Female spiders, on the other hand, love their offspring incredibly and often come up with all sorts of sophisticated ways to protect their offspring. For example, the mother spider of the Philaneta sisyphia species never parts with their children. She watches over them until the end of her life. And then, the babies eat her remains and finally scatter in different directions. As for the frog, this method of protecting the young was invented by the mother of tarantula spider species. Spiders and their offspring often suffer from small insects, which are not very appetizing for the spider, and which are often attracted by the smell of decay. So, the spider introduces a frog to protect the nest from unwanted guests. Interesting symbiosis, isn't it? Today, you learned a little more about animals before and after adulthood. Nature is truly amazing. Thanks for watching.